Weekend Buzz 88.
88. You've done 88 of these things?
Yeah.
Wow. We didn't ease into this at all. The minute my butt cheeks touched the seat, you just start going. Like, click, number 88.
Everything
we're doing
you say
it.
is so valuable.
Not really. Yeah,
well, what we're
true
starting
at
to
all.
say is I've got two of my best friends on the show.
We're
Thank you.
really long-term acquaintances. I don't. Just kidding.
Yeah, he was
know if
giddy
you'd go
as of
best
last
friend.
week. He's
But in all truthfulness, I probably wouldn't have made it in skateboarding if it wasn't for Brink. Like I would bribe him with I was sponsored by Think was one of my first sponsors, and I'd give him wheels and stuff to come pick me up all the time. I didn't get my license until I was 23, so this dude would have to pick me up from my house. I don't know, every day, pretty much forever.
from the rich side of the neighborhood.
No, I could have gotten my license. I just didn't for some reason.
Yeah.
Why didn't I get it? Did I have an excuse back then? I don't know if I did. I just
You didn't have a lot of money, but I think you were just such a skate rat, and people like me enabled you to not have your license.
yeah, I was surrounded by enablers for sure.
So, X amount of years later, Tim's responsible for my career because when I got my degree in writing, he introduced me to every magazine editor. Meza, Ted Newsom, Eric Stricker, literally all of those guys. How did you guys meet? Did you guys meet prior to Habitat life?
We met in a chat room.
Yeah, online.
AOL.
No, mainly Vita Shoes.
Oh,
That
yeah.
was when we first met.
Habitat.
Yeah,
I think we met at in Texas.
that's exactly where we met. I was going to say. I remember it like it was
I remember
yesterday,
it
bud.
well.
That first gaze into your eyes. How much longer did Habitat start after that? It was probably.
2000,
It
within the
seems like
year.
it would have been a huge gap, but back then it was probably
A couple days.
yeah.
We
Month
locked
at the
eyes, and then a
most,
couple minutes later, they started Habitat.
when you were younger, you'd be in school and your summer off, in between, years of grade school. It seemed like a lifetime. Oh my God.
Pubes are sprouting.
Yeah. Just everything changed. Now, that's nothing. That's barely enough time to get out of bed.
So,
And that's-
what do you guys? How do you feel, or do you have any information about the current state of Habitat skateboards?
I feel deeply
Emotionally.
emotional. Alas, I have come to this feeling.
Alas, the story of Habitat.
How do I feel about it and stuff? It is
Are we
pretty
allowed to-
crazy.
Habitat's alive, changing distribution.
Yeah,
Cool.
It's I don't
Pretty
think-
much same Habitat, different distribution.
It's going Tamietta, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, there he said
Yes.
it. There you
I
go.
can say it.
Yeah.
So, do you guys get a memo or anything? And you're like, your guess is good. What happened?
No, I got
Ask
it.
me.
Yeah, I got kind of a vague heads up, and then I didn't want to, I don't know, I don't want to bug anybody, so I gave him a couple days, and then I saw Joe. I saw Joe in LA. We were doing something, and so I talked to him about it then. But I mean, yeah, if it doesn't affect, it affects me, but not directly, so I don't care about anything that doesn't directly affect me.
All that stuff when it went to Burton
I'm playing,
and everything
I'm playing,
didn't
but-
affect anything
But it
whatsoever.
does. It
This
affects.
really
but-
doesn't affect me because I don't get a paycheck anyway at all. I'm just
that's what we're talking
I
about,
went from
honestly.
pro to flow for all my sponsors.
Are you
so.
even on the alumni or the legends division? Or
I don't know. Yeah, maybe we should add that in there. It'd be me and
I could
When
probably join.
Freddie.
Can I join?
Ed's
You want to get on? You're still
Can I get on the ledge?
ollieing shit. Whatever.
looking good.
Yeah.
I'm just changing baby diapers. And
So, are you even?
Talk about that.
Are you a pro skater anymore? Do you get?
No, because that would mean somebody was paying me to skate. So I'm not getting paid to skate by anybody. So
Right on.
fuck no. I skate
Yeah.
here and there when I can.
I just didn't know if there's any sort of.
No, I guess
we
now
got a weenie.
I'm like the new Dave Duncan
Gotta
right
break
now.
up.
I've been emceeing contests and stuff like that. So whatever that is, I'm an MC, dude. I was telling him on the car ride over here, never thought I would ever be doing any of that. But it's such a quick gig here and there, sure, whatever. And then I get to hang out with friends of mine that I wouldn't see on a usual basis and stuff. But
Kind of a natural segue.
Yeah,
That's what I was
it's not my retirement route.
we sat around in contest and judged the contest. On
It's
our
getting paid for what I would have been doing anyway. Yeah, sitting, talking, talking shit, and I was also a backsmith grind, and throwing that in there as well.
Yeah.
educating the crowd, educating the spectators and stuff.
I would imagine as you have a career, and I used to think of it even just as a skater, like I would be bummed out. Like one day I won't be able to skate. I would think about it and be like sad about it or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's going to suck. Life will be blind.
Physically not.
I didn't think about that day ever.
What's that?
I didn't think about that day ever.
You never thought like, I'm not going to be pro. It's going to suck. Because I'm
No.
asking now that you're here.
Yeah.
Was it easier?
I think I didn't think about it, and it just happened, for real.
Uh-huh.
And but I don't think it was hard for me to transition out of it. But also, it just was all at the same time. Like I had to get a much needed ankle surgery that was like a year recovery. Had a kid, so it was all kind of purposeful to do it all at that time too. I couldn't continue skating how I was. Just my ankle was. You probably saw me. It was wrapping it up like it was like a fragile UPS package, duct taping it together and stuff like that, and still hurting it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I got the surgery, and I just kind of knew that would be my way out. For a minute, I thought, maybe I'll come back and skate. But then the kid showed up. I'm like, I have no time to do anything whatsoever. I said, make sure this kid doesn't kill himself 24 hours a day. And that's it.
You find yourself, because you have like a pretty harsh sense of humor, which I enjoy. It's pretty awesome.
Hey, thank you.
But do you run the same bits through your child? Do you have to tone yourself down? Is there a filter? Because I know guys that like do the crazy shit with
what
their
am
kids.
What am I retarded? Like
No, but I know people that do. Like they're like, oh, I don't give a shit. Tell the little.
You're gonna get the worst human ever. You gotta teach your kid about the social contract and learn how to navigate their way through life. Otherwise, they're screwed.
Right.
Your job is to make a productive member of society on some level. You can go against the grain and be an asshole within certain rules and all that stuff like that. But yeah, if you just completely are like, fuck this, just be punk rock about everything, you're an idiot. You're a fucking dipshit, and you shouldn't have had
But you do the funny jokes on Instagram,
Sure.
with the child, kind of, right?
Yeah, but he
doesn't have his own
he's
account.
3, he's retarded. He doesn't know anything, so it's pointless. Like, it's not going to affect him one way or the other.
When you see this, when you grow up and watch this, it's not. I'm just not talking about you.
He's, for all intents and purposes, he is retarded right now. He's got the mind of a 3-year-old. He pisses on himself, shits himself, and everything.
He pisses with his pants around his ankles.
He's still doing that, yeah.
I was wondering when you stopped doing that.
He saw me whip my pecker out and pee with just my kid out like a real man does. And he tried to reenact it and just like pissing in his face and everything like that. Yeah.
Does he know how to like hold it and aim it and everything?
No, because he's still before a certain age. It's so small too that there's no it'll just go whatever. I mean, he doesn't even have a 1/4-inch killer, like an 1/8 of an inch, and it'll just go where it's gonna go. You know, it's like there's no pulling it this way, that way. It's nothing.
No,
Like you taking jabs at people. What's the most flack you've caught for it? Do you remember certain situations?
Surprisingly, I have not gotten a lot. I think you've probably asked me about that before.
Someone got offended at a contest. Or there was
Yeah, I've had people wanting to fight me and stuff at like Tampa Am and everything, but they're all people that went on to be nothing anyway, so who cares? Put like for Greg Lutzka, like this guy definitely masturbates to his own ads or something like that or whatever. But I mean, that guy seems cool every time I see him.
I bet he'd laugh at that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like if someone said that about
whenever
me,
I see him, he's cool. He's never been like, he's never acted weird towards me or anything.
I don't know. That's a good question.
I don't know. I'm surprised I haven't gotten beaten up in the past or whatever by somebody. I don't know. I think anybody that would really be bothered by it is somebody that is an idiot anyways, you know what I mean? Like everybody else usually has a somewhat good, a decent sense of humor and stuff, and anybody that knows me knows that I'm a decent person. As Rob said, he's totally cool.
When you guys were at the peak of your career, would you have considered yourselves A-listers? Were you A-list pros ever?
Yeah, of course.
You were? You were an A-list
Yeah, what do you
pro?
mean? Like,
I don't know.
if you could...
Ride for whoever you want.
I was
go
just going to
anywhere
say,
you want.
if you could kind of pick sponsors and stuff like that, is that how we're kind of...
Yeah.
I probably had a
quantifying
month
this?
or two
A month
of A-list.
A-list?
Yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
I had maybe a year, maybe a year the most.
You're downplaying it big time, but yeah, for sure.
Well, you could talk about it.
Talk about you?
Yeah.
All right, yeah.
Well,
I don't need to talk.
I remember just you being,
Yeah, because
for lack of a better
I could
term,
have...
in demand. Or
Yeah, I was
whatever.
big time in demand. They all wanted me.
Because he was playing hard to get.
You had
You were running that game.
You had tech deck. I would see tech deck checks lying around your room or whatever.
Yeah, those were some crazy times, man. Holy God.
I would see really large.
And early checks. Habitat days, too. Habitat days were even better because, yeah, I mean, all that stuff was still going so strong. It was like every one of your graphics, you had a tech deck, and you were seeing like real checks from it, not like just some little pittance. So
and then
it was significant, man.
9/11.
Mm-hmm.
Was
it was immediately 9/11 and then like a week. Yeah,
stopped seeing
9/12 or 9/13. I was like, "Ooh, this paycheck's a little smaller. What's going on? Whatever. It must be a fluke."
I remember you saying that to me, like that immediately.
It was immediately. Well, it's a combination of things as well. Like then there was all the hatred for America after that. So other people started buying less American products. Before that, everybody bought U.S. boards. We had huge, insane paychecks for board sales and stuff like that. Japan alone was like a huge percentage of your sales and everything. And it was only a matter of time before all these other countries were going to just start pressing their own wood.
And things. The natural backlash as well.
Yeah. It should have happened earlier. It should have happened before all that. But I think, maybe 9/11 kind of like...
The war, maybe the war after.
It was the war, yeah. Definitely. I remember filming for like Mosaic in Barcelona. And it was all these like anti-war protests going on. And I don't remember if you were with us, but we're like walking out of we just wanted some basic American food or whatever. So we go to the Hard Rock Cafe. We come out and it's like playing this song, like do a little dance, make a little love, get down tonight, woo, and walk right out into a war protest, like fuck America, like
this guy walking out of a Hard Rock Cafe,
fully, like just wanted like a burger, like some straight up, just something like
a little slice of home,
just like a comfort food, you know. I was sick of paella or whatever. Like I didn't want any more. Danny filmed tricks of me in my first Habitat part and everything. Really? Great. We had nobody to film.
Yeah,
back
I had a
then.
VX1000.
There was like nobody to film.
There was people to film.
Day.
I just think we were doing fine.
Yeah.
On our own, and if something happened, we'd
nobody to film around my way, not in New York.
Oh, I guess yeah.
So maybe I was
around
just
my way.
It was projecting that onto your area as well.
Do you look back at some of that era where you had kind of the hip hop phase of your life, and do you cringe, or is it just that was part of what it was?
No, that's just not. That's like looking at a yearbook photo or something. Like, that's just the way it is. Yeah. Imagine if I just solidified my thoughts and my style when I was 19.
Yeah,
it'd be crazy.
You'd be irrelevant.
And even just as a person, being in my 30s now, that if I thought the same way and talked the same way and act the same way,
you'd have that Radiohead album on loop in your car the entire time.
Only
bunch of nonsense.
I mean, that's part of skateboarding's job. I guess not the pro's job to follow fads, but part of skateboarding, the culture, and the pro's job is to influence and give identity to kids who are are developing identity.
Exactly.
Well, and that's what fashion does. That's what music does.
So that's for me when I was really, started out and I was forming my own identity and still forming my old identity. That's what it did for me. So that's what you do.
This shit?
Well, we're going to cut that out. We're just going to leave the parts where you're talking.
All right. Good.
And so, another story from you?
Oh, yes. The DUI that I will get on the way out of here will be charged to one Tony Hawk. Just so you know. Lawyer up, Tony.
I can't even think right now. I'm so fucking fried. I'm too hungover to laugh.
You'd be doing the hardest manual trick. You could shoot him in the chest, and then he would just still land the trick or whatever. Like, oh.